Hello and welcome to AAA Wargaming. I know it's been a while, but I've had some pretty big news. The first big one, my wife and I have had a baby daughter, and this was about July, so that's why hard stop pretty much on the videos and stuff. So it's been pretty full on. Every day's a school day. Uh, does feel like there's a bit of a banshee running around the house, so I'm still absolutely terrified of them. It's not just because Paul Godbold and Jack Austin's banshees keep taking me off. The other bit is I've moved jobs as well, so it's been getting to grips with that, and it's been yeah. So coming up to the Christmas holidays, and this is probably the first time I'm actually going to get some time to myself. I have been doing some hobbying, and I'm going to take Hobby Cobbler away because I am keeping it a bit close to chess, looking towards Art of War or the War of Art in Bristol in February. Hopefully, I can make it to that one. Currently booked on, fingers crossed, everything plays out to plan. I would love to go for a painting award, or at least the army. I'd like to sort of put it on the table and let's see what happens. I think it's the army I've painted. I've got two more tiny infantry models to make, add them to some flying characters, and they're set. So here we go. So, but until then, we get to catch up and relive a bit of Cardiff, which happened in May this year. So, uh, quick recap: it was the Spiky Club. This is our second tournament. We've played our first game against one of the Welsh teams. So this is pre-ETC. So this is their warm-up, and we won our first game. That's where I played Roy Stoves, but I lost. But the rest of the team did really well. In the next game, we played the English Lions, which is sort of like a reserve team for the Lions, but it's no reserve team. I mean, it's Alarie Parran, Paul Godbold, Tony Hale, and ah, I do apologise. That name escapes me. I'll have to go back and have a look. But obviously, it's no reserve team. That's what I'm going to do. And we got absolutely trounced by us, and it's no secret. I mean, they did a podcast on the Fantasy Wargaming, which I thoroughly recommend. Love the intro. I love the stuff they're doing at the moment, which is like the intros of cool armies. They've recently just started doing Warriors of the Dark Gods. Also, more importantly, how to beat them. So hopefully they just won't get to Sylvanels for a while because I need all the help I can get. And yeah, so they thoroughly trounced us. I mean, we flew too close to the sun like Icarus, and we got thoroughly burned. And that's where poor Gobbold took me off 17-3. So next we're on to going back down. We're on table 4, I think. And we're like, yep, okay, we're probably not going to get everyone, but who do we get? Just a reminder, so David, very good painter, is on Empire Sonstal with his winter themed, whether it's Asklanders or Empire. You've got Ben, again, another good painter on Warriors of the Dark Gods with his sort of orc themed army, which is quite cool. And you've got Anton with Swarm, again, another painter, good painter. I think it's just something Spiky do normally bring. We remember we were Giants of the Order of the Wooden from the Order of the Wooden Spoon because May 22, we got the Wooden Spoon by quite some distance. And we all decided to take at least one giant, and everyone had a one or two giants in their list, and it was good fun. David came up with a theme, and yeah, we ran with it. That's my army. Um, yeah, pretty standard for me. Just playing around units, playing models, playing different units, such as rather than rather than anything new. So round two pairings, we're playing the ringers, and it's funny. So like, look at the list again: Warren Brewster, Craig Johnston, double master in ninth age. GM, again, exceptionally good player, and I think he's playing for Scotland this year, or was it last year? I think it's both, maybe, and James Root. So, who's won several tournaments before moving in America and Canada before moving back over. So, yet again, an exceptionally good player. So, yeah, this was not going to be easy. We'd look at the lists, and I took one. I remember writing down. I'd had a bit of alcohol by this point. Um, I was drunk. That would be the best. I wasn't even tipsy. And I remember saying, it was like, which one would you like? And I was like, well, I remember this. And Infernal Dwarfs was definitely a hard red, but I don't think anyone else wanted it. So I went, look, I will take this on and see what happens. No promises though. Like if I get a 5, I'm coming back with a good one. So that was the challenge. Go and get a 5. Other than that, I think the rest were sort of it could do okay and stuff like that. So actually, I just needed to try and not get 20'd. It was game three, so sorry, I should have, yeah. So this is battle report number 40, but it was counter thrust and hold the ground. So hold the ground is in the center, and you've got to try and basically get as many units on there as possible. Ooh, that's come off. So this is his list, and this is why it was a hard red. An occultism master on a great bull of Shamut. Ugh, a Lamassu scholar, Citadel guard, flintlock asses, and that's where the gunnery team, rocket battery, fires of industry went at the bottom. He's got 2 units of 20 vassal levies for a good of scoring, 20 shackled slaves, 5 Kadim incarnates, 10 Turka forces with blunderbuss and everything else, and banner of discipline. So hard to kill because they're res 5 as well, so it's not great for my shooting. 3 Turok anointed with paired weapons and champions, so they're tough to move. 2 Naphtha throwers. Ugh. And then and then gunnery team that was spoken about, and the Canadian Titan walking volcano. So horrible magic, horrible shooting, some quite tough blocks, which in combat, yes, on their own I can deal with, but the amount of damage output from the magic and the shooting, there's no guarantee I'm going to have anything left. And I just remember thinking, and I was like, on a good day, if I'm sober, maybe, not in the state I was in now. Luckily, Guillaume was also drunk. That's probably one of the mitigating factors. Like I'll explain why later, but he was as drunk as I was, but he drank a lot more. So I'm the lightweight here. We were equally smashed, but he put away quite a bit, and he still played better than me. Like one, because it's Guillaume. Like if he was sober, I mean, this would have been a horrible matchup as well. But yeah, maybe if I'd stayed sober, he would have probably still been drunk, and then we would have gone from there. But no, it was a lovely game. And yeah, I was looking at this hard red, and so yeah, here we go. In Magic, the only one I chose differently, instead of taking Forest Earth, I took Master of Earth because I was like, I need to start shooting some of this stuff and just have some output and keep going. Altered Sight I took because I just wanted to affect his shooting, his Kidim Titan with the rocket battery, because it was like 2 rocket batteries coming out. I needed to have an effect on them, and I did, but I didn't want to take Forest Embrace, or sorry, Entwining Roots, because I wanted to take Master of Earth. It's kind of like games like this where I was like, oh, I wish I'd Chilling Hell. Or Awaken the Beast, not Awaken the Beast, or Titanic something to get into the backfield where I don't have to go through everything. His Master of Cultism took Grave Calls, Mark of Doom, Pentagram, and Hand of Glory, pretty standard. And the Lamassu I chose, you could have another channel rather than 3 spells, because then it just gets really horrible. And he took a good old Breath of Corruption. I was expecting that and Flaming Swords, neither of which I really want because of my tree and everything else. And he's just going to make everything flaming and with his vassals, and it's just not pleasant. My plan: don't get 20. That was like the number 1 mission. Do not get 20. Everything else was pretty superfluous as long as I don't get 20. So if I come back with 1 point, cool. Anything bonus than that, brilliant. My plan, because I won counter thrust, because I got to side first, was like, right, I'm just going to try and distract him and get the objective, because actually I've got enough scoring with my double Heath Riders, my archers, my drives in the center. Maybe I can like use my big blocks and force it through, so somehow win the objective, because I just think he's got that much shooting and magic, especially magic over time. I just die. But if I can get the objective, that's 3 points in the bag, and it also means he can't get a 20-0 because it's the most you can get 17-3 without winning the objective. And if I can win the objective, that means I get 6 points. So that was my plan: distract and win the objective. Doing that whilst quite drunk, and I'm not very good whilst drunk, or I'm even a lot worse whilst drunk. That was going to be interesting. And then the plan with this was the distraction was going to be, look, I need to just Dragon Lord, Blade Dancers, and Tree Father, and just try and push them as far forward and cause chaos. So yeah, half my army or scoring units were center, and they're going to go for that. The rest of it was just cause chaos. So you can see the terrain here. So we've got an impassable here, got a ruins, impassable. I think we class that as impassable. A forest, a wall, a hill, water feature, and another forest. Right. I picked this side because I wanted some impassable just close to the objective to launch on. I didn't want to give him a hill. because I wanted something to hide around here. And I the only thing was I didn't really want this water feature because it's quite blocky. But actually, as the objective was going to be here, like that was the center, so I'm going that way. So actually, this is part of the battle I don't really care about, and there's a wood there to block it off. So that's why I chose this side rather than that side. I didn't really want to be in all these ruins and stuff like that. So yeah, and I put it down there because the plan was I was thinking, do I distract him and make him think I'm coming down here and then use this to block off, or and if not, I've still got some trees that I can move on to the objective, and I've basically surrounded it with 2 forests, and that was my plan. He deployed first, and we'll go through it now. So from left to right, he's got Kadim, no, Toruk cavalry. He's got some slaves. Well, they were the slaves. I think they were the vassals. No vassals. Okay. So I could kill vassals. We can go to the end of this, and it demonstrates how drunk we were, I think. Or maybe he survived and only got half points. Yeah, maybe that was it. You've got then his profit on Big Bull. You then got a unit of the Citadel Guard with the rocket battery. You've got one of the nap throwers. You've got the vassal slaves. You've got the Kadim Titan with the rocket battery, Lamasu, the other nap thrower, the 5 Kadim incarnates, and the vassal levies. And I was pretty happy about this. I mean, he's got 1, 2 scoring there. The other one's over there, and the other one's there. Note, at this point, there are no Kadim incarnates. No Turek anointed. We'll come back to that. I decided that what I was going to do is distract with my giant over here. I was like, look, maybe I can cause some issue around here, but all he's got to do is just try and draw them away from the objective. I then put the dryads up as possible. I was like, look, I've got to take risk with the shooting at some point because I want something to launch into here, turn to, and just take this forest in here. I put the blade dancer out here out of range of the cannons, but also so they're quite easy. You can go forward or go there. My plan was, if possible, I'm going to start moving that way. I had the archers here so I can in line because there's a loose maneuver, and then my 2 Heath riders just to pounce forward and basically sit either side of the objective. So I've got all my 4 score units, and the blade dancers are going to push here. They can easily be supported by the. I can get the giant. The giant was there to distract, but I can easily support with the tree father and dragon here and just shove them forward and just smash and hold as much of this side. With the blade dancers can take the Kadim, and then hopefully my scoring can win enough time. The Pathfinders are out this way to basically try and distract as much point here and try and draw his magic away and stuff like that. In hindsight, I don't think I deployed that badly. I was pretty happy. The only thing I might have changed, actually, in hindsight, no, actually, I don't, because I wanted the dragon to threaten that center. What I didn't want him doing was moving this Citadel Guard unit up, because I thought if he moved up and marched up, I'm going for him. Between these two, I just didn't want him to move up because I think that would have been a bad move. So yeah, no, I'm happy. I was happy with my deployment. I think it's the one good thing. I'd just like to point out that's my beers, and this is my point about getting drinking quicker than me. That's his second beer. So we kept buying lots. That's my water bottle. It was empty, and I don't think I refilled it. He'd already drank one of his pints. I was sort of a third through trying to get there, but I'd say I was as drunk as he is, but he was drinking far more than me. That's kind of thing. So I'm the lightweight here, massively. Right, ID turn 1. On the left, you can see he's moved up his Turek and Prophet. He's moved over to the left to go and deal with those Pathfinders and then moving from the centre. So yes, bad is coming to my flank, but the plan is working. They are coming away from the centre, so my centre is intact. You can see his vassals have moved up into the forest, which is a downer because I was hoping he was going to stay out, but he's seen my plan to move it into the centre there. His Citadel Guard hasn't come up as much, and that was brilliant. His slaves have stayed back as well. Otherwise, his Kidim's taken up. But otherwise, his right hand side's not been as aggressive as I thought it was going to be. So the Giant and the Dryads are threatening them quite well. In Magic, he takes off a unit of Pathfinders. Gone. Bang. Shooting doesn't really do anything else, but that's pretty much what he does. I think that was a great call or whatever it was, but I basically let it through. In terms of shooting, as you can see, so this is my turn 1, but you can also see what he's done to the Dryads. He hit with both, and smashed them. And I was like, crap. So I've got to go for it. So my turn. So what I did was I did something a bit weird, which probably I shouldn't have done. This was a mistake. So I charged the pathfinders in. Now what I should have done was move them into the back corner on the left, just to distract me. So I forgot what my plan was. So they were going to go in there, because what I did with them, I was like, screw it. So I moved my Tree Father up to threaten the vassals, and my dragon went right up to go for the Citadel Guard. I was like, come on, with the Blade Dancers. I was like, look, let's play the plan. I'm going to smash this out. He hasn't pushed on the right, so I'm going to go for it. I moved the Blade Dancers up, the Archers onto the hill to start bringing some magic to bear and see if I can start re-healing. And my Heath Riders were just backing around. I was just making sure I could zoom forward. But effectively, I did some maths and I went, second turn, I'm going to get an objective. I moved the Giant Town to the right, basically to try and pin the Vassal Levies and Kadims in place. Yeah, magic, I put a thing up on the dragon. Here's my thing. As you can see where the dragon was, I don't think he'd have charged him in, because that could have been quite dangerous. I could have put it there, and it would have been far enough away from the Kadim. Hold that thought. First thing I did too, and he measured it, and he went, "Oh, it's only a 7 on Swiss stride," and I was like, "Oh, bugger!" I didn't need to do that, and so he charged in and hit him. Great. Cheers. Well done, James. That wasn't planned. A Kadim Titan in the flank, because he's flank, charge, flank, big flank, so he's already up 3. And that's before we swung, and I'm light troops, so great. Cheers. Well done, James. And the Kadim is really quite dangerous in the flank, so yeah, not a clever move. Not a clever move at all. Yeah, otherwise he's starting to move up, but he's still quite cautious. What you will notice is the 2 cannons overturned, so this is really unlucky from Gearman. Changed the game a bit quite badly. His cannons rolled a 1, so misfire, or first one on the right, because he wanted to use the left one on the Dryads, I think. Or no, he couldn't see. So 1, followed by a whichever one, and it didn't blow up. Or did it blow up? Or no, it can't fire for the rest of the game. So that was the first one. And then he rolled exactly the same on the second. So both cannons are effectively out of action. I was like, huh, I have a chance. Who knew? I mean, they decimated my Dryads in the first turn, but I have a chance now. He then got a load of spells off and look at him, so it was looking really, really bad on there. I think he got Breath of Corruption. Yeah, Breath of Corruption there, so it was looking really bad, even with my Res 7. Ugh, here it comes. Yep, he also ate my Pathfinders in the second round, so they died. Yeah. I think he overran. So I think I survived on 2 wounds, and I failed the leadership check because I'd lost 3 wounds. Yeah, I needed like 3 to roll a 3 or something like that with a reroll. I had a reroll, but yeah, it wasn't happening. Luckily, being Wood at Silvertails, everyone's fearless, and no one ran away. So yeah, but down. So all I had to do was, because it would have had the same effect if I'd had him instead of there, maybe there, because I could still threaten both of them. Yeah, I'd have been shot lots, but I think I could have handled it. I think I just would have made it. I could have put some magic on. Res 7 is really quite bad for a inning, and he wouldn't have got in. And then yeah, so that was probably the biggest mistake I made this game overall. Again, drunk. Right, Silvernail's turn 2. What I did here was I charged the Dryads into the rear and the Blade Dancers in the front, and I put strength buffs on them, and they smashed that kid in. What I didn't do then, because I wasn't sure, I also charged the Tree Father into the Vassals. I was like, yeah, I'm going to eat you up now. So this is starting to work, so I'm getting in. Here's the problem. I didn't get Forest Embrace on the Dryads. What I didn't know how to do is I had them in the flank, or them in the front, and I was just like, if I put them in the flank, all that will happen is they can hit them, beat them, overrun, hit them in the flank, with big flank everything else whilst that's in the thing. And I just thought that's the safer bet, because at least if it's charge flank, it's light troops because it's flying, it doesn't get anything else. So It's only up by 2. I've got a standard and BSB. Unfortunately, my BSB's on that side. No, it's not. So he only wins by he's got to kill something to get up. So that's okay. So I decided to go and face forward, which I think was the sensible move. And I don't think he's want to go and put his Citadel Guard into my Dryad's Blade Hands after that, because actually he's just giving me combat res by that point, I think. So yeah, end of turn 2. I do eat the vassals and they run away, and I think they rally, so that's why I got half points for them. Yeah, that's where it's going. So you can see them there. I decided to turn around. Right. Suddenly, ooh, right. At the end of his turn 2, Guillaume realised he hadn't played his Kadim Incarnate. Not Kadim Incarnates. What are they called? Toruk Anointed. And I was like, yeah, just. He was like, what? I was like, just put them on over there. So he put them on over here. I think, yeah, maybe if I didn't want to be a dickhead. I mean, like, I wasn't going to win this. It's a friendly. We're not going to go top tables. Sorry, Spiky. No, I just said go over there and we'll see what happens. I'd turn around them. I ate them I'd eaten them and turned them around. So this was the end of my turn. You can see me having to move the Heath Riders around to this side, but I'm still in range. And you can see at the end of turn 2, I've got 1 point here. So I'm up. And I'm in a pretty good position. So I reckon I'm going to win turn 2. I can win turn 3 because I've got my 2 short sight curve there with my archers. If he doesn't charge my Dryads, I'm going to win turn 3 and I can win turn 4. So yeah, I was pretty happy. ID turn 3. So this is what happened. He charges a Turuks into my Tree Father in the flank. So I'm like, yeah, it's not that bad. I should win that. It'll take me a couple of turns to grind him down. He's starting to move his Turok Anointed forward, which I really need to kill them before that comes in. He's charged that into there. Expected. He's charged his Lamassu into the Dryads, which I was not expecting, along with the Citadel Guard, which I kind of was, because I wasn't expecting that to have that overrun, so that was going to be interesting. Other than that, he's moved his Kadim's Incarnates up there because he's like, go on then, I'm going to kill you, Giant. And I need to end this one over here, which I wasn't too bothered about. I was like, I've still got gaps going through. So this is kind of one of the things that happened. So I killed quite a few. I took 1 wound, maybe that. And I turned to face the Turk Anointed just so I didn't have a flank charge from them. I probably should have stayed like that because then he can't get as many into contact. Now I've just given him more attacks. Well done, James. Yeah, and that was just showing that. He wipes out my Dryads. And he beats the Blade Dancers in combat. But I get away and I rally. So my guys are actually, they've run away, but I do rally. Just, yeah, next turn. It was a bit nerve-wracking. So, Issy, I'm running. I'm sat there. Woo! Go Silver Nails. What I've done here is I've let him. This is ID turn 4. So on turn 3, I did get the objective. I don't know why. Or maybe I got it on next turn. Either way, maybe I'll let him have this one. No, because last time was ID turn 3, Silver Nails turn 3. I rally. I do that. Oh yeah, this is his turn 4. So I think the objective is just there. I've got a feeling I'm in 6 or something. Maybe I don't think we draw actually. No, I think I've lost this one. So I think he gains this one, so he gets a marker. ID turn 4, he charges both his Lamsu and his Lord into there. I've still got Awaken the Beast up though, which is good. So they are strength 5. So I'm gonna be there in a couple of rounds of combat. He's charged his Turok Anointed in to my Tree Father after I punked his Toruks. So the Turok Anointed into a 3 wounds Tree Father. He didn't take any wounds on the way into Dangerous Train, which was a bit annoying. He's like, I needed that. one thing I would say on my turn is I decided to sneak the giant past to bring him back into center. The whole idea was I just needed to get rid of this and see if I could get back onto the objective. 10-4, yeah. ID 10-4, he just kills a few of my blade dancers and takes a couple more wounds off the giant. No, he doesn't. I think he just says one wound there and I do a couple of wounds there, so I stick, but it's not that dramatic a combat. You can see he eats a load of more of my stuff, including my BSB, which is not good, but my blade dancers managed to stick. In my Silvernails turn 4, my main priority is getting onto the objectives. So what I do is I move my archers further forward and my cavalry as well. So I put my cavalry, I end up putting the cavalry about here so that I'm going to have this one. So I'm going to go 2-1 up and I'm all my giants in so I can smash into there and basically take him out. So he can charge, and I've shot him lots. And basically, if he wants to charge in there, I've got to stand and shoot still. So I could take a few more off, and then actually I think I win that combat. Otherwise, I threw all my spells at this, and I managed to get 8 more blade dancers back. Unfortunately, not the BSB. In hindsight, maybe what I should have done was put them all on the Tree Father, because that's a combat maybe I could have won, but I was kind of hoping to kill at least the Lamasu or something. In hindsight, that was a bad call because I'd already used the 3+ Aegis, so I was going down that, and it would be in his turn. I wasn't going to kill these. I didn't have any strength buffs off. This is res 6, so this is another smaller mistake than Dragon. But what I should have done was just throw all my healing spells or whatever on this to win that combat, because that would have been completely different because they were dead, and I just didn't realise that point. Otherwise, yep, you can see nothing much there. Get a load of dead, but I survive. Oh yeah, no, I've dead, and he's now facing down into the center. So yeah, absolutely. He also kills my Tree Father, so I've lost Blade Dancers and Tree Father in one turn. So not good. What happens in ID turn 4, 5? Oh no, maybe this is ID turn 5. Okay, this is ID turn 5, not Silvernails turn 4. So he kills me in his turn, turns around. He kills my Tree Father in his turn and turns around again. So what this means on his turn, this is his turn 5. He doesn't charge me, but it means on my turn 5, which is the end of it, I'm still close to the objective with 2 units. So what I've done is I managed to draw the objective. So I'm either 2 or 3-1 up at this point. We drew, so something like that. And what I did was I decided to turn my archers towards the Lamasu, towards his character, just to have a go at that one. And also just give him some horrible options and use magic and everything else, and I buffed them up and stuff like that. But what I was playing for here was very much just trying to make sure my scoring was in with the objective. Now, his ID turn 6 here. He moved everything around, just basically final one. So he killed the giant. We played this out because we were so drunk by this point that we're just like, right, score. So he killed the giant off. He killed the archers. He killed all the Heath Riders. But effectively, what I think maybe this was turn 5 and I've missed it. But all I did was on turn 6, I sprinted the Heath Riders in there. On turn 5, maybe. Basically, I won the objective on 3-1. He killed everything, like everything. And I only killed, it wasn't a Shackles wave, I got half points on the vassals. And he got the 10 Turk forces. I got the 10 Turkan forces and the Canadian Titan. So it meant, but it was irrelevant. He could only win by 17-3, and I got the secondary, which meant I got 6-14. Boom. So I came home with a 6, which was 5 points more than my plan, which was not get 20. So that was really, really good. So I was really happy with this, actually. It was also a really fun game. We did laugh at like what mistakes we were making. It was one of those games that, as you can see from this battle and some of my pitch taking, it wasn't pretty to watch. I don't normally drink that much on a war game, just because I just don't want to be a dick. Luckily, I wasn't a dick that game or anything like that, so we had a good fun time, and Guillaume outplayed me. Like, but I was really happy with the result. Yeah, I'm not one of those playground. Need to measure better rather than assume distances. This is coming up quite a bit actually. I need to start thinking about this with the dragon because actually, if the dragon hadn't died, the dragon and would have probably gone in. I think he'd have been wounded, but I could have gone into the vassal levies, killed them between that and the tree father, and then I'd have been able to because the blade dance were threatening, and yeah, it would have been quite interesting. Then I think maybe the result would have been the same. I was so far behind on points, like maybe a 17, a 7-13. I still think I would have lost, but it would have been in difference. But then again, his cannons might have not both blown up. Well, not both blown up, but both stopped firing. So yeah, yeah. Otherwise, plan worked. Yeah, I distracted and let my scoring units get the objective, which meant you get 6. So here's a plan. Here's a top tip: play for the objective always, because you'll never get lower than a 6. I don't know why has everyone said that. Think about it. If you have an army that totally plays the objective, you are going to finish a tournament. If you can win the tournament every turn, you have got 30 points already. And then whatever else you kill is bonus points. So you only need to kill. Let's have a look at this. You only need to kill. Oh, that's not good. It's coming apart. Yeah. Like to get 1 point a game is 450. So to get the 50, you need 20 points. So on average, between 5 games, you need what, 14? So yeah, okay, you need to four fives are 20. So you sort of need to get 1,000 battle points roughly. Yeah, let's call it 1,300. So yeah, it's 1,300 battle points a game just to get you in that ballpark. Okay, yeah, I yeah, that's right. Uh, then you look at the results. We won by 1 point. Look how close you were. So I got a 6-14. Um, um, Ben and David traded either way, so it was equal. So it was down to because this was it. Like I think Warren knew that Anton was going to beat him, and we knew Guillaume was going to beat me just because he's a better player in ID versus SE, and this wasn't a good matchup for me, especially in my state. So I got that 1 point. Anton brought it home because Anton was so reliable this tournament. So yeah, we got 41 versus. Sorry, that's a 39. Can't even read that. So yeah, we did it. Well happy. We got a win. So we've had 2 wins out of 3 games on the first day. So we went off really happy that night. I mean, we were knackered, but yeah, look at us. Spiky Club has not. Well, we won't. I don't think we were going to get the wooden spoon after the first game, but that was still really, really impressive for us, and we were really, really happy. So yeah, I mean, that was us. So yeah, thank you very much for watching. Again, as I said, I'm not doing copy corner because I'm keeping my powder quite dry on this one. I really, really do want to, just want to see if I can surprise a few people. It's blood, sweat, and tears. It will have taken me. I'll have been done by Christmas, or well, by New Year's. It will have taken me 2.5 years to paint this army, which is not testament to how well it's painted, just how slow I am to paint. So otherwise, have a good weekend. I hope you have a good time, and I will start getting better at these.